Hey, good day everyone. Scott Rowe here. I just wanted to follow up from Sunday. Sunday, we had a lot of technical glitches for a number of reasons that they happened. Be that as it may, that was an important teaching what Tab and I gave, and we just wanted to follow up with you on that. So here's calling it a Turbo Talk. So Sunday's teaching was called the endurance race, and it was called that for a reason. But this past Sunday, it was all based on what Tab and I had walked through in the late fall, early winter, as we just sensed God calling us to examine, to search the heart of the Cambridge Vineyard, but at the same time to also examine our own hearts as far as our relationship with God. And one of the core things, and we spoke on this the week before, was the intimacy with God. That's the core, that's the foundation of everything, that God longs to have an intimate relationship with us. God pours his love out to us. We pour our love back to God. That's what it is. Prayer, for example, isn't some ritualistic words that we say to a God. Prayer is this deep, intimate conversation we have with God, and God speaks with us as well. That's what prayer is. It's a form of intimacy. But be that as it may, that's the foundation. So last Sunday, what we talked on, 3 things that we've sensed the Lord speaking to us as the Cambridge Vineyard, but also to our own hearts individually as well. And it's a life that he's calling us into. And the first thing that we strongly heard God saying, that he was calling us into a transformative life. Where does that come from? Well, Paul wrote into the Christians in Rome. He said this in chapter 12. He said, I plead with you to offer your bodies, and in other words, everything, offer your bodies as a living sacrifice. Give everything to God. And do this by what Paul said was, don't follow the customs and behavior of this world. Rather, let God transform the way you think. And that is so key in becoming more like Jesus and thinking like Jesus, acting like Jesus. And that whole word transform isn't just like, I become a little nicer. It's not that. It's think of the Transformer toys that my kids grew up with, or think of, the Transformer movies, the muscle cars all of a sudden turn into, robots or whatever. It's that type of transformative thinking that God is wanting to do with us. And that's what we want to be as a faith community. That's point 1. Point number 2 was a rooted life, meaning think deep roots of a tree that go down and hold it when storms hit. And Paul, again, writing to the Ephesian church, says this in chapter 3. Ephesians chapter 3, Paul says, I pray that you will be deeply rooted into God's love. There's that intimacy again. To be intimate with God is to be deeply rooted, because when you become deeply connected with who God is and God's love for you, it's God's love that will hold you through life's storms and side swipes and all that stuff that happens from time to time. So we're called that into be deeply rooted. So a rooted life. And finally, a reproductive life God calls us into. And what does that mean? Reproductive life means I pour myself into other people. Meaning us as a Cambridge Vineyard, we're going to pour ourselves into helping people, equipping them, training them how to be followers of Jesus, and making space for them to grow in themselves as well and in their faith. But that speaks to me individually as well. And here's a question for you. Is there somebody in your life that you are pouring yourself into? Because we learn by our faith journeys, we learn from life experiences, and those are valuable nuggets that we can pass on to others. Anyway, that is the Turbo Talk for this week. So if you missed it on Sunday, no problem. Guess what? You got it right now. Have a great week, and I hope to see you on Sunday. Talk later.